Hi you guys! Today we are going to be chatting makeup capsules, and I'm going to share with you guys what is in my spring makeup capsule here and hopefully give you guys some ideas for what you might want to put in yours. As a Seint beauty artist, the biggest thing that we get to do is minimize our makeup collections by being able to do our entire face with just one palette. That's a huge selling point for Seint. It's such a big part of it is that within one simple compact we can have our full face of makeup. So for me as a mom, that was the big sell for me, was that I don't have the time or space or anything to carry around a huge makeup bag and also to spend a really long time on my makeup, but I can literally get such an awesome glamorous look if I want to with one compact and within like 5 to 10 minutes no matter what. I've talked about Seint Beauty before, so if you guys want, you can always just check below and I will have links for if you want to get color matched by me to get your own custom palette made, because all of the colors are specifically color matched to your specific skin tone. If you're interested in the artist program, you can always go to the link down below as well, or you can message me on Instagram at Becca Halm. And if you have any questions about the products, just send me a DM on Instagram and I'll get back to you. But yeah, let's get into the spring makeup capsule. If you're not entirely sure like what a capsule style thing is, a lot of people do like capsule wardrobes. I've seen a lot of people do capsule makeup collections, and it's kind of essentially just minimizing your products so that you actually use them. So you really just pick one of each specific item a lot of the time, or a very small amount. Like a capsule wardrobe, a lot of people might have only 3 t-shirts for the whole season, something like that. So basically for my spring makeup capsule, I decided to create an everyday palette that I think is really centered around the spring season in general, like color wise and everything, but it has everything I need inside this palette. Now the size palette you want to go for totally depends on your needs. You can get a bigger one, you can get a smaller one, totally up to you. The one that I have I think is like the mini double decker. I'm not entirely sure. It might be the regular like double palette, but let's get into it. So starting out, the first thing I recommend you guys having are all of the basics, obviously. So you're going to want to have both your highlighting highlight shade, which is like your brightening shade for under the eyes, all the high points of the face, usually like the center of your forehead, down the tip of your nose, that kind of thing. And you're going to want to have your foundation highlight shade, which is your like all over shade that goes anywhere you're not doing blush or contour or brightening, essentially your basic shade that matches your face. This is why we color match you, because when you send in your photos, your contour, your brightening highlight, your regular highlight, they're all going to be custom to what your face is. The only thing, of course, going into spring, you might be able to change your shade up a little bit from your winter capsule. So a lot of people can change their shade up throughout the year if they start getting tan. So if you're someone that starts getting a little bit of tan in the spring, your brightening and foundation shades might be a little bit different. For me, this is kind of my all year round colors that I have in here. I have Aura and I have Amber, and those are kind of my all year kind of colors. I probably won't need to switch up my shades until summer. So I have my highlighting, or I have my brightening highlight, my foundation highlight, and then right here I have my contour shade. Again, for some people this could change too. If you really tan a lot this time of year, your contour shade might change. Mine is the shade Olive, and it's a pretty year-round color for me for sure. So these 3 things are things that are always going to be in any capsule for me for sure. The only time they might change is if the color of my face changes. Right here in the middle, we have some stuff that I think is definitely centered around springtime coming in. It is time for the sun to be out, it's time for nice weather, it's time to get outside. So the highlight shade, the Illuminator, essentially, that I chose to go with is the color Honey, which I think is so beautiful. It's a yellowy gold kind of highlight shade for the cheekbones, of course, for the most part, which hopefully you can see that just a little bit. I was going to choose like a pinky shade or a rose gold shade, and I decided to go with Honey because for some reason I feel like this yellowy kind of glow feels very spring to me, because I'm not overly bronzy yet in the spring. I'm still pretty light. So I thought that this would be a really good one to go with for an everyday makeup look. This is an optional one right here, but this is the Bella Bronzer. Everyone loves the Bella Bronzer. It's something that you might want to have in your capsule all year round, of course, if you want to have a bronzy glow all year. But for me, definitely come spring and summer, of course, but come springtime, I'm ready to kind of give myself a little bit of a natural bronze. So the Bella Bronzer allows me to do that without having to like change up my foundation shades or anything like that. I can just pop some bronzer on like my temples and stuff and start to get a little bit more sun-kissed. Now I chose 3 lip and cheek colors, which I think is appropriate for a makeup capsule because these are all lip and cheek, so they're used for both. So this is pretty much me choosing both my blush shades and my lipsticks together. So the first one right here is a matte shade. I think a matte shade is definitely important to have just for an everyday blush, and it's in the color Pink Grapefruit. Super, super fun color. It's super light. Pink Grapefruit, I think, is just a really fun, bright pink. It's really kind of Barbie pink, but you can tone it down on your cheeks for sure, and you can tone it down on your lips by layering a gloss over top of it, which I'll talk about in a second, but definitely makes me think of spring when I think of just this happy, happy pink color. So that is a matte shade, and then I have 2 glosses. However, I still use the gloss shades on my cheeks as well, so I think they totally all work. All of these will go on my cheeks and all of these will go on my lips. So the one right here is called Summer Love. It's just a really pretty nudie pink. It's a little more toned down than Pink Grapefruit, so it's one that you could put over Pink Grapefruit to tone it down a little bit because it is a bit sheer, but it's a really pretty gloss. It's also going to go really well with the Bella Bronzer if you put it on your cheeks with the bronzer, just for a very natural pinky shade if you don't want to go all the way for Pink Grapefruit some days. And then the other one that I have right here is called Black Cherry, which I think people might look at it and be like, girl, that looks like it's for a fall capsule. It looks so dark. However, it is not dark like it looks. It's actually a really pretty pink berry shade. So it is sheer, so again, you could always layer it over top of Pink Grapefruit to change up the color and make it pretty. You can wear it as a gloss by itself for just a pretty berry color, and of course it can go on the cheeks. So this is a swatch of all 3. We have Pink Grapefruit, and then Summer Love in the middle, and Black Cherry is on the end. And I just thought that these were the perfect shades for a spring themed makeup capsule. Going into my second layer, I have a couple of items that might not be necessary for everyone. This right here that I just shared could be your full spring capsule, which is so crazy because this is literally 5 to 10 minutes, have your full face done just with these products and you're done. If you're like me and sometimes like to go a little more full coverage and crazy, then you might like to add this bottom layer with a couple more items. Right here I have my little mini brow kit essentially. So this is the brow wax right here. You just run your like eyebrow spoolie all in it and then put it on the eyebrows. This is another contour shade that I use for my eyebrows as a pomade, which I love. A lot of the Seint Beauty products can be multitasked into other items. So you might be able to use your contour shade, you might be able to use the Bella Bronzer. For me, I do use a different contour shade for my eyebrows just because I like to use a bit of a cooler tone one, but my contour shade is a bit more warm toned. So I do have a separate contour right here that I only use for my brows. And then I do have an eyeshadow as well in the shade Trust, which is just a good eyeshadow to fill in my brows as well. So depending on what I'm going for, if I want more natural, I'll do the eyeshadow. If I want a little more sleek, I'll go for the contour as a pomade. So this is essentially my little mini brow kit right here. And then over here is essentially my little mini eyeshadow palette. So this kind of ensures that I'm going to use my eyeshadows throughout the year because I'm going to put in eyeshadows that go with the season, and those are what I'm going to use throughout the season. So first we have the Vanilla Dust setting powder. This is the setting powder from Seint Beauty. You can use it all over your face, of course. So I just have it in here in case I ever need it. Especially if I just want to touch up on the go. But the eyeshadows I have right here are called Cupcake, Mama, Lullaby. I think this is As You Wish. Yeah. As You Wish, and Bend and Snap, and they're all just kind of light pinky toned colors that I thought really screamed summer to me. I don't think spring. I don't think summer is a very pinky season. I always think of spring as like a pink season. So I thought that these shades would all go really well. They're all very light and natural, which is what I think of for spring, but they're still kind of pinky. So I will swatch them. Alright, hopefully you guys can somewhat see them. I have Cupcake, which is pretty much a like base shade. It's going to be kind of skin tone color. Mama is kind of similar. It's a bit of a skin tone color. However, it does have a really pretty pink to it. We have Lullaby, which is a dark mauve-y kind of shade to like darken that crease. As You Wish, which you can barely even see it. It's really just a good like eye topper or inner corner brightener. And then Bend and Snap, which is definitely like a very classic spring shade to me. It's just a mauve-y kind of shimmery color. And that is the second layer of my spring makeup capsule. Alright you guys, so that is the full spring capsule that I have created. If you've done like a spring makeup capsule, totally let me know. I think that's really interesting to kind of think about minimizing your makeup, but also thinking of ways to ensure that you utilize it by essentially doing kind of like seasonal capsules for your everyday makeup. So that one's mine. However, that is going to be it for this video. Let me know some other stuff you guys might want to see here down below. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and also just give me some sort of comment. Tell me what was your favorite of these 3 lip and cheek shades that I showed you guys. Let me know down below. But that'll be it, so I will see you guys next time.